If there are any graduates upstairs, please proceed downstairs to line up. Final call. If there are any graduates in the building, please proceed downstairs.
for some
Just
reason.
scramble.
It's nice to have all this work done. That's good.
You'll have to go around the podium. Right. Okay. So I'd go around whichever side I'm not on. Usually.
Nice. So I think you're going to do this and I'll come on.
All right. Sounds good to me. Okay. Please be seated. Good morning. We already went through this with the president. Good morning. Thank you. Parents, good morning. Okay, just want to make sure we're in the right place. I want to welcome all of our College of Architecture graduating students and those students who are here just to watch, also the families and friends, and all the other members of the university community who are with us here today. I'm Reed Kroloff, Dean of the College of Architecture, and we're absolutely delighted to have you with us. A short while ago, at the university's opening ceremony for commencement, President Ichimbadi conferred degrees upon all of our graduate and undergraduate degree recipients. I encourage you to stay in touch with your alma mater, IIT, and your College of Architecture friends and family. And before we get started on the serious business, I want to just give a few housekeeping items so that everybody understands. We are live streaming this afternoon's ceremony downstairs. So if folks are standing and would rather have a seat, we can accommodate you downstairs. There are seats and televisions that you can watch in the lower core, which is just down either of the staircases here. That is also where you will find the restrooms, should you need one. Before that, there are exits to the building directly behind me where you likely came in, and also downstairs in the building directly to either side of the restroom core. So should anybody need to find an exit in a hurry, that's where they are. And as we hand out our diploma covers to our graduates, I ask that you silence your cell phones. Actually, you could do that right now, and remain in your seat and keep the aisles clear. But you can knock anything over that you would like. We ask that you keep the aisles clear because I know that a lot of folks are going to want to jump up and take pictures. Please do know that we're taking pictures of every single graduate, and we will be happy to make sure that those pictures are available to you. But we've got to keep our aisles clear. I think everybody can see that some of these aisles are relatively tight. So we would appreciate it if our friends and families would help us with this and stay in your seats when photos are being taken. All right? I think that takes care of all of the business of the housekeeping business of the morning, and now we'll go directly to our ceremony. And I just want to tell you, I'm absolutely delighted to see such a large group of parents and friends to join the students today. Thank you so much. Can we have a round of applause for that group? For the parents and the friends and visiting family, you're sitting in Crown Hall, the most important building on this campus. And yes, I know I'm the dean, but it really is the most important building on this campus. It is one of the landmarks of the 20th century in architecture, and in fact is designated as such. And we hope you enjoy it. This is the place where your friends and students and children have spent the last 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 years of their lives. It's a long time, but what a magnificent place to be. And we hope you enjoy it today. It's also a building, as you can see, with a lot of glass. It's a warm day. There's a lot of sun. We encourage a whole lot of this during the day. Because the building certainly wasn't intended for audiences quite this big. So yes, exactly. I've got this going on all of you have a card, make use of it. We'll try and keep things moving along as quickly as we can. We'll try and keep Professor Sabatino moving quickly. We know that takes some time normally. But we'll all move along as quickly as we can, but we want to make sure that we enjoy the ceremony today. So thank you for being with us. Speaking on behalf of the faculty and the staff at the Illinois Institute of Technology's College of Architecture, I welcome you to commencement, and I congratulate all of you for completing the most rigorous educational program this university offers, or any other. You and I share something today. This is my first commencement in Crown Hall, too. Yep, it's true. I arrived in the fall of 2019, and by the time commencement rolled around, all of us were working from home, anticipating our first post-COVID summer. And we're still anticipating our first post-COVID summer. Aren't we still? This is the subject I'd like to address today. I hope with some humor, but also with the seriousness it deserves. You're part of the first group of IIT students to be sent home because of COVID, and you're the first class to return to Crown for your final year. And despite all fears to the contrary, you made it through. Of course, not everybody did. We all know people who lost family, friends, businesses, and time to this unpredictable virus. And we would like to remember them now. Just take a moment. But here you are on the other side of a crisis. And like all crises and all loss, this one comes with opportunities. Let me explain. 17 years ago, I was the new dean of architecture at Tulane University when Hurricane Katrina smashed into New Orleans. The scope and destruction really was hard to believe, especially for someone like me, someone who up to that point had grown up in the comfort of a stable physical environment. But with the arrival of that storm, my partner and I found ourselves living as nomads in friends' spare bedrooms in Baton Rouge, in my parents' house in Phoenix, in featureless hotels in Houston, We did not see the inside of our own home for 4 months. And when we did, it was an oasis in a desert of destruction. So much of the city was gone, including 90% of its people. Many wrote New Orleans off. The damage is too widespread, they said. It's not worth the effort or the money to rebuild. Happily, no one listened to them. People and money started flowing into the city faster than the water had before it, all directed toward rebuilding, toward making a better, safer, more resilient New Orleans. And at the center of it all, Tulane University and its School of Architecture. Katrina gave us a mission: save New Orleans. And that's exactly what we set out to do. You may not know it, but the first single-family home completed in the city of New Orleans after the storm was designed and built by students from the Tulane School of Architecture. And that was only one of what became hundreds of projects undertaken by the school and the university, a mission that continues to this day and has extended far beyond New Orleans, a mission that transformed a sleepy little southern university and its architecture school into national powerhouses. What's the message here? Well, a friend once said to me something that seemed silly when I heard it: never waste a good crisis. Katrina taught me to live by that slogan, and I think you should, graduates, too. Don't look at the COVID years simply as lost time. Look at them as professional challenges. Just as Katrina did in New Orleans, think of all the ways COVID is challenging and changing the ways we live. And think of the opportunities those changes represent for architects and for landscape architects. More people now work from home. Okay, who design homes? You do. More people working from home means more people using neighborhood parks. And who designs parks? You do. More people working from home means we need new ways to use former office spaces. And who designs offices? Thank you. More people working differently means we need new ways to think about our cities. And who designs cities and redesigns them? Exactly. I could go on, but clearly you get the point. There will always be crises, and there will always be architects and landscape architects engaged in remediating them, or even better, working to prevent the next one altogether. Among the best examples of this is Chicago itself, a city that famously burned to the ground 150 years ago, just as it was reaching a zenith in its early growth. And it was architects and planners who stepped in to create a new Chicago, a modern metropolis of fire-safe buildings, skyscrapers, broad avenues, and a system of parks and waterfront recreation that remained unparalleled to this day. These visions, and others, are why design is inherently an optimistic act. It's an affirmation that things evolve up. It can't be any other way. First, design always looks to the future. You can't design something that's already been designed. That's just copying. Real design, good design, is always new and innovative. And because it looks to the future and offers positive change, design is by definition hopeful. It projects a world where things work better or more efficiently, or we hope more equitably. This positivist world is now yours. What does it look like? Well, that depends on you. Fortunately, architecture and landscape architecture give you lots of choices. Many, the majority here, will go directly into professional practice in Chicago, a city largely built by our graduates. Some will go on to further professional education or to study in another field. Still others will take different paths altogether. For instance, Bachelor of Architecture grads May Smith and Keith Wiley are moving to Sao Paulo, Brazil, to work with Morgan Stern fellow Gustavo Utrabo on projects for indigenous people in the rainforests. MLA grad Jessica Flatley will join the Chicago landscape architecture practice of, wait for it, MLA grad Nathan Wright. December BArch grad Danielle Allen is honing his furniture building skills in a design build firm here in Chicago. You are graduating at an unusual moment. Demand for architects and landscape architects has never been greater. Starting salaries are at an all-time high. More than at any time in recent memory, you actually have agency in the market. Yes, parents. Your design-inflected or infected, either one, children are employable and at reasonable wages. We may not be lawyers, but really, who wants to be a lawyer? And I hardly need to remind you that you are graduating from IIT, one of the most renowned schools of architecture in the country. With this commencement, you join a community that has had a profound influence on the built environment. Whether defining post-war American modernism, inventing the super tall building, or reshaping the world of high fashion, rest in peace, Virgil Abloh, IIT grads have been at the forefront of design for nearly a century. And we don't expect that to change. So what do I see as dean? What do I expect? Standing here today, I look out and see more than 140 success stories. More than 140 people who came here with more questions than they had answers. Many of you had never built a model or done a measured drawing. You'd never operated a CNC mill or poured concrete. You'd never sized a beam or calculated a bending moment. I still haven't done either one of those things. You'd never had to listen to Frank Fleury. And really, who wants to listen to Frank Fleury? And yet, here you are, 2, 3, or 5 years away from that earlier understanding of architecture and design. You survey a landscape that is very different than the one you saw when you arrived. Just as my partner and I looked out onto a different landscape when we returned to New Orleans, we were changed people. And now, so are you. I believe that to be successful in a new place, you need to believe in something about it, something larger and more important, more challenging or more mysterious, more beautiful or more ethical than what came before. We saw what lay before us in New Orleans, and we believed. You see what lays before you now, and you must also believe. Believe in the power of design. Believe in yourself, but believe. All of us, the faculty, the staff, and administration at IIT believe. We believe in you. It's why we come to work every day. We believe you have the strength and the passion to make that positive change in architecture, in landscape architecture, and in the world. We're optimistic because we believe you're the future. So go out and find your own crisis to conquer. There's plenty to be had. And believe me, believe all of us, you're ready. Congratulations, and thanks for sharing your education with us. And now for the good stuff. And I want to thank our sign interpreters today for helping all of the audience understand everything that we're saying, except for Frank. Where is he? There he is. For each degree program, the names of our graduates will... For each degree program, the names of our graduates will be announced in alphabetical order, imagine that, including recognition of our 2020 and 2021 graduates who have returned today to participate in these ceremonies. Can I see a show of hands for those folks, 2020 and 2021 folks? Yeah, baby. Welcome back. We didn't forget you. Some people tried, but we didn't forget you. We will begin with our graduate degree recipients, those earning the Doctor of Philosophy in Architecture, the Master of Science in Architecture, the Master in Landscape Architecture, the Dual Master of Architecture, Master of Landscape Architecture, and the Master of Architecture degrees. And we will close with the Bachelor of Architecture degree recipients, which includes those earning their coterminal masters. Parents, don't even try and figure all that out. It's my pleasure First, to introduce the graduate program, commencement student speakers, Master of Architecture candidate Spencer Goff, and dual Master of Architecture, Master of Landscape Architecture candidate Davey Friday. They were selected by their peers to tell the story of their studies in the college. They offered the following biographical summary to us to read to you. So don't believe everything you hear. Davey Friday is not 6'8". He does not weigh 240 pounds. He cannot bench press his younger siblings. What he is a 27-year-old third-generation Chicago native that grew up in this very neighborhood. Though Davey has been an artist for as long as he's been able to wield a pencil, making art and designing clothing, logos, and more along the way, his curiosity and interest in the sciences led him to receive a Bachelor of Science in Biology at Roosevelt University. He almost attended Illinois Tech for a Master of Biology until his mother reminded him of his interest in architecture as a youth. After a meeting with MLA plus U director Ron Henderson, seated behind me, that changed the way he understood drawing as a tool. He pivoted to the College of Architecture, where he became at least the second freshest student to graduate from Crown Hall. Rest in peace again, Virgil. With Davey is Spencer Goff, a 28-year-old, take that, Davey, as of yesterday, student from Arkansas. As a first-generation college student, he studied math, art, and physics, and he also studied at a semester at sea. There, he sailed around the world studying a history of architecture and quickly realized that he could combine his previous interests into a serious passion. The College of Architecture was enlightening and grounding for him in a number of ways. He may have taught you something in the shop, spoken too much in some of the Zoom classes, or just been a friendly face on campus. He claims the knowledge he attained at Crown Hall and the community of classmates, faculty, and staff who shared the experience along the way became the beautiful building atop a simple foundation of architectural understanding. With that, please welcome Spencer and Davey.
What's up, everybody? So, the dean just mentioned it, but there was this kid's birthday yesterday. Does anybody else have a birthday today or coming up?
Bill's
Anybody?
got a birthday today.
Anybody?
Bill!
Well, before we start, let's just wish these people a happy birthday. On three. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday. Okay. So welcome to the 2022 College of Architecture commencement. He's Spencer,
And he's Davey.
and we're going to talk about
Imagination.
No, I'm just playing. We're actually going to talk about the power and the importance of collaboration.
Yeah, over the last few years, we've been grouped together and tasked to work on some of the most difficult and mind-numbing projects that anyone could have ever conceived.
And along the way, we've had to lean on each other's talents, compassion, and tolerance to complete some of the best work by students in architecture in the world. Can we get a show of hands for people who've had a great collaborative experience while in Crown Hall? That's good. Y'all had some fun in here.
Yeah, look at all that. Okay, now, be honest. How many of you have had a traumatic and terrible collaborative experience here in Crown Hall? Oh, surprise.
And I know that not everybody wants to raise their hands. We got to play a little politics, but through the good and through the bad, we've all gotten here, and we've gotten here together.
Yeah, so some of us may not have thought we'd made it here, so before we continue, I just want to make sure we all give ourselves a round of applause for not flunking out like we thought we would. Good.
Yeah, y'all didn't do something crazy like, I don't know, drop everything and move to Korea.
Yeah, okay, so people have distractions, but most of you probably stayed focused and you didn't start a business and start designing clothing and start selling art and become a political correspondent on Instagram and...
They're selling canned tap water. Somebody has to say something about that. That's a problem.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, we've all had our fair share of distractions and side tasks and everything, but we made it.
And we've also settled into some important lessons learned inside and outside of the studio. And I'm talking about the bond we form and the strength we possess as a collective. The power and the strength we get from each other has helped us stay resilient. The power of community allows us to be anchored amongst one another. keeping each other balanced, keeping each other focused, and giving each other a helping hand when we're in need.
Yeah, and actually, whenever I met Davey, he was doing everything, right? And granted, he's still living like 6 lives worth of life in one person. But the main issue was that he was trying to do it alone.
And I learned very fast that if you want to go fast, you can go by yourself. But if you want to go far, you have to work in concert and in collaboration with others. I quickly learned that I'm not Superman, which is a good thing because I think Superman's kind of a lame. But I can't achieve my goals I set for myself without the help of others.
Yeah, we actually started in the fall of 2018 together. And we learned pretty early on that we all have different strengths, and success laid within relying on each other to achieve harmonious success.
And as the late and great Virgil Abloh said, use collaboration as a medium for experimentation.
Inside and outside of the classroom, I can't tell you how much that has meant. I mean, outside, I can't tell you how many times Davey has given me a ride to somewhere, taking me to a game or just to meet up, or how many times he's helped me haul all of my random furniture from the shop to wherever it needed to go.
And Spencer even helped me move my grandmother's couch. She's right over there. Shout out to my grandma. And I thought it would take only like 5 minutes. I convinced him to drive all the way to South Shore with me, and it really took like an hour. We were sweating. We lost all our energy, and we were kind of embarrassing because that couch was heavy.
Yeah, but in the end, it's that kind of camaraderie that keeps us thriving, right? And whether it's the students that had to put up with me in the woodshop,
Or the kids in the library that had to ask me for research, or the friends we made just wandering around Crown, jumping in on reviews, going to a party and clicking with people. These are the people that we need.
as architects, designers, innovators, and visionaries, we have a responsibility to ourselves to strive for greatness. You can do a lot on your own, and you should. But what you achieve in camaraderie and collaboration far exceeds what you can accomplish alone.
And we might have to adjust to some crazy situations, like, a global pandemic that changes the way we collaborate and interact with one another. But we enfranchise the power of collaboration, and we adapt to these situations because we know the value of peer-to-peer mentorship. We don't exist in a bubble, but we did live through the dot-com bubble.
And the housing bubble.
And the stock market bubble.
And the second housing bubble.
I don't think Bitcoin made it back to those all-time highs either. Anyway.
All right, it wasn't fun, but we made it, right?
The pandemic created a seemingly endless set of roadblocks to collaboration, but at the same time created the need for new ways to collaborate, ones we couldn't imagine before, because who would have thought we'd be on Zoom for 12 hours a day? But this newfound sense of persistence and resilience to achieve our goals has made us stronger as a whole, and we've learned that we need to code innovation into our future projects.
Absolutely, we're setting the standard for the future, living through so many once-in-a-lifetime events, many of them that are still prominently ongoing in such a short span of time. It's proof that we're not only able to overcome, but also obligated to continue that work in a way that blazes a trail to a better future.
We've made it this far, so let's make sure the following generations can too. We are the energy that propels future generations forward. The effects we have on society, culture, and the environment far outlast our earthly bodies. It's not just about us. It's also about those that are coming after us.
And I would like to quote great Chicago poet, Margaret Burroughs. "I am but one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. What I can do, I ought to do, and what I ought to do, I will do."
Now collect these memories you've made in Crown Hall, plant them firmly in your mind, and go out and change the world.
And don't forget to use the power of collaboration.
You guys stay here. Stay here. Whoop. Thank you for that great speech, and we want to give you a little token of our appreciation for doing that today. So thank you very much. Thank you. Now, we're going to proceed from here to the distribution of graduate diplomas. And for today, what you're going to next see, just so the parents understand this, the students understand who all these people are, you're going to see a succession of folks giving out diplomas. Those people are the heads of each of the programs in the college. They're the people who your students have worked with very, very closely, not only on their classwork, but on advice about how they can move forward in their program and look forward in their careers. So each of them are going to introduce each other. I won't keep coming back up here for that, but I did want you to know that's who you're seeing. And we're going to start with the ultimate degree that we offer and the person who manages that program, and this is my friend Michelangelo Sabatino, who is also a professor of history here in the College of Architecture and has led our PhD program to extraordinary accomplishment over his several years of managing it. So, Michelangelo?
Thank you, Dean Kroloff. Will the recipients of the Doctor of Philosophy in Architecture please stand? Handful. Dean Kroloff, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Architecture, I have the honor of presenting to you the recipients of the Doctor of Philosophy in Architecture degree. I'm supposed to have a card, but I've known these guys for 5 years. So, Piyush Karnar. Zahida Khan. Johan Kim. Lijan Ma. We will now proceed with the distribution of the Master of Science in Architecture diplomas. I call upon my esteemed colleague, Vedran Mimica, Professor and Director for the Master of Science in Architecture program.
Thank you, thank you. I know I'm popular, so thank you. Thank you, Professor Sabatino. Dean Kroloff, on behalf of the Faculty of College of Architecture, I have the honor of presenting to you the recipients of the Master of Science in Architecture degree. Will the recipients of the Master of Science in Architecture degree please stand and come forward to your diplomas? Amena Mubarak Saed Bakarmon. And I have to say that Amena comes from Yemen, which is at the moment a country in a war. And we all do believe that her knowledge will help the post-war reconstruction in Yemen, hopefully soon. I have to say that Ahmed Abdullah Obad Batis, her husband, graduated as well. He's now taking care about their child, but he graduated, and a round of applause for Ahmed, please. Ashish, your surname, Chandar Haskarind. Ashish comes from India and told me, I'm an engineer. I'm not an architect, but I want to work with architects, and you work with Walid on an amazing project. Ashish, congratulations. Nicolas Nico Vaidele, we are the countrymen. My mother was born in Chile, and you are from Chile. Your thesis and your project was amazing. how to deal with difficult informal settlements in Santiago de Chile. Congratulations. To present the Master of Landscape Architecture and dual Master of Architecture and Master of Landscape Architecture diploma, I call upon my dear colleague Ron Henderson, Professor and Director of the Master of Landscape Architecture and Urbanism program.
Thank you, Professor Mimisa. First, will the recipients of the Master of Landscape Architecture degree please stand? Dean Kroloff, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Architecture, I have the honor of presenting to you the recipients of the Master of Landscape Architecture. Oh, Jessica Flatley. Sneak in the back. Rocio Ruiz. Jerhan Yang. Who we really know as Gabe. Next, will the recipients of the dual Master of Architecture, Master of Landscape Architecture degree please stand? Dean Kroloff. Yes. That's you. On behalf of the faculty of the College of Architecture, I have the honor of presenting to you the recipients of the dual Master of Architecture, Master of Landscape Architecture degree.
Do we have to give this one out?
I know he's already said a bunch of stuff already.
Yeah, it's kind of too late to pull back.
I paid all my money too.
Yeah. Davy Friday. Brittany Salias. Oh, Eric Schiller. It's been such an honor teaching and collaborating with this group of students. To present the Master of Architecture diplomas, I call upon my dear colleague, Martin Felsen, Associate Professor and Director of the Master of Architecture program. Martin.
Thank you very much, Professor Henderson. Dean Kroloff, on behalf of the faculty of the College of Architecture, I have the honor of presenting to you the recipients of the Master of Architecture degree. Will the recipients of the Master of Architecture degree please stand, row by row, and come forward for your diploma?
Grab this off of here so I don't walk off without it.
Sure. Thank you. All right, Rama Hazim Al-Said Soliman. Thank you, Jeremy. Jeremy Belitzos. Thank you. Samrati Dingra. Noah Patrick Donica. Thank you. Kulsum Fatima. Spencer Von Goff. Right. Meghana Ramnath Hegde. Hello, thank you. Jane Watai Katwe. Thank you. Aishwara Krishnan. Thank you. Luke Lageson. I got it right here, Chin Lu. Thank you. Ting Ying Lu. Thank you. Zindagi Mugreshbi Mavani. Thank you. Simran Watwani. Thank you. Eugene Park. Thank you. Tisha Brajuman Patel. Thank you. Shivraj Ramesh. Thank you. Albert Santoso. Thank you. Sefana Sathik. Thank you. Jacob N. Savage. Thank you. Chitan Arvind Shah. Graduate of 2021. Thank you very much. Amar Rohi Shalabi. Thank you. Thank you. Juchang Shi. Thank you. Kavya Viniraj Sarvana. Thank you. Harrison Taylor. Thank you. Lakshmi Munika Tekumala. Thank you. Tucker Judson Touchette. Thank you, Ethan. Ethan Tsai. Thank you. Lauren Renee Tudor. Yili Wang. Graduated 2020. Benvendi Wang Truk Uldi. 2021. Thank you. Huanzhen Xiao. Nan Zhang. Thank you. Yang Long Jiao. All right, thank you very much. Congratulations, everybody. All right, I call upon Dean Kroloff to introduce our Bachelor of Architecture student commencement speaker.
Thank you, Martin, and congratulations to all of the graduate degree recipients. Well earned, and we're delighted to have been able to have you with us for this time. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce our undergraduate program's commencement student speaker, and that is Maharshi Patel, who was chosen by his classmates. Yep, it's good. Maharshi was chosen by his classmates to tell the story of their studies here in the college. So, Maharshi was born in the suburbs of San Francisco, raised in Phoenix, my hometown, crazy, and moved back to the Bay Area. His fascination with materials like wood and fabric during his elementary years sparked his interest in the field of art and architecture. As he grew up, he channeled this interest into a career in fashion design, which he continued throughout his education here at IIT. This background and the diverse knowledge of his peers heavily influenced how he approached his education and how he developed his design style. Maharshi will be returning home to the Bay Area to begin his education as a graduate fellow at UC Berkeley to study real estate development. There, he will learn to synthesize his design skills with the business of architecture, culminating in the goal of bringing positive benefits to society and the built environment. Maharshi.
Thank you, Dean Kroloff, and the College of Architecture staff and faculty. Good afternoon, and welcome, family, friends, class of 2022, and those of you from classes of 2020 and 2021 who could join us here today. For those who could not be here with us, we hope you are observing this special day wherever you might be. As previously mentioned, this is the first in-person commencement address since 2019, and it is an absolute honor to be able to stand on this stage and share our story of the last 5 years. I'd like to prime all of you and let you know my address might not be as entertaining as Spencer's and Davies, but bear with me. At the start of this past week, I began to pack up my apartment, a place where I lived for the past 5 years. A home away from home. 5 years is a long time to spend in one place, especially as a student. As I cleaned out the crevices of my desk and under my bed, I came upon a lot of things. The fondest things. Things that brought back memories, the fondest memories. Like the little wooden coliseum we made in shop class in first year. That reminded me of the fact that I'm still terrible at making things on the lathe. Or even the series of hand-drafted drawings that we all composed for our bike pavilion's final. That reminded me of the 3 nights and 3 days we all spent in Crown Hall, hunched over a drafting board, drafting endlessly. It is these moments that we forget over time, the best moments and the bitter moments. But it is the amalgamation of these moments that we stand here today, ready to enter the next phase of our lives, ready to experience and collect some more moments. But before we do, I think it only makes sense that we share some of these with our family and friends here today. August 21st, 2017, our first day of studio was a nerve-wracking one. Many of us arrived straight out of high school, and others arrived with a few years under their belt, ready to pursue their passion. We all came here with our own preconception of what architecture means to us. Wide-eyed and cautious, we received our first assignment. Draw 100 lines on 3 sheets of paper, each sheet with its own specific yet general parameters. Sound familiar? When presented with this assignment, the first thought that many of us had was, this is not what I signed up for. How is this even architecture? We reluctantly began drawing, questioning the placement, the line weight, and the angle of each and every line. When we all pinned up our sheets and stepped back a few days later, we immediately saw the differences, the diversity in ways others approached this assignment. It was then that we learned our first and most important lesson of architecture school. There are 1,000,001 ways to approach architecture. Each individual has their own interpretation, their own experiences that influence their approach. Respect each other's approaches and learn from each other's experiences. This was no difficult lesson to digest, as many of us began our education here with little to no background in the field. However, with these 5 years completed, I think it's safe to say that we have grown to be patient, respectful, and appreciative of each other's work. We also learned some other equally important lessons. Lesson 1, the steps of 3410 and Crown Hall are not the right place to spray paint your model. Lesson 2, never take a laser-cut piece of wood to the table saw unless if you have $200 lying around. And my personal favorite, lesson 3, you should probably refrain from taking a blowtorch to your model on the carpet of Crown Hall. Yes, all 3 of those things definitely happened. I'm sure most of us can agree that second year was quite the whirlwind of activities. As we left second year, confident with our hand drafting abilities, we were thrown into a realm of digital mediums. We were forced to quickly learn the nuances of Rhino and AutoCAD to keep up with the shifting gears of the professional practice. But we were quick and relentless learners, ready to spend hours on end typing in various commands to create the simplest of drawings. While we might have rolled our eyes and complained about this abrupt transition, we ultimately succeeded in mastering this new skill. Third and fourth years were truly a challenge, not in terms of comprehending the material, but in terms of the environment we were forced to learn in. We started off with projects that required us to research and understand the needs of the neighborhoods we were intervening in, realizing the positive impact we as architects can make on society as a whole. We continued on to designing and creating sensory objects inspired from our brain-freezing trips to Northerly Island. If any of you would like to experience what borderline frostbite feels like, I recommend making a trip out there in January. We studied the experiential spaces that amplified these observations. We pushed our craftsmanship and our ability to work with various materials in exciting and innovative ways. However, this excitement was short-lived. The onset of COVID-19 forced universities around the world to halt in-person instruction. We had little time to decide whether we should return home or stay in Chicago, unsure of how long this pandemic would ensue. I would like to take a moment to thank everyone in the healthcare field for putting so much on the line for the greater good, for sacrificing their time, their health, and even their lives in order to create a safer and healthier community. We will forever be grateful for your efforts in taking care of those close to us. Let's give them a big round of applause. That being said, many of us lost family members, and close friends in the past few years, and I would like to think that it is because of their support and blessings that we stand here today. During this time of distress and uncertainty, Zoom became an important tool for us, connecting us with our professors and classmates, whether we were across the country or halfway around the world. Sometimes we struggled with trying to comprehend the feedback we got during Zoom crits. Other times we had difficulty keeping up with the lengthy structural calculations in the fibrous and transparent classes. While we tried our level best to absorb as much information through a screen, it does not compare to the experience of being here in person. We lost a year and a half of Starbucks runs, of late night meals delivered to Crown, and of inhaling spray paint and sawdust in the shop. But most importantly, we lost time. Time we could have spent supporting and inspiring each other. Time we could have spent growing a stronger bond, a stronger relationship for years to come. This made the start of fifth year a momentous one, as most of us eagerly returned to Crown, ready to make up for that lost time. While this year may not have been so different from our time on campus in the past, I would like to think that we took full advantage of our final year here together. Like any other family, we're just as dysfunctional as we are cooperative. While our time here brought the best out of us, at times it also drew out the worst, testing our patience, our dedication, and our fortitude. We might have said things we didn't mean. We might have done things we regret today. So I'd like all of us to forgive each other and let the past be in the past. Like these 5 years, life is too short to hold grudges. Families, after 5 years, your students are leaving this bubble and rejoining society. So let me offer some advice. We might come off as relentless and harsh, but realize that this is our enthusiasm. We might spend nights awake, drawing, building things, or just talking to our friends, but realize this is our dedication. We might get angry when you try to cover a beautiful piece of walnut with some ugly white paint, but realize this is our passion. My parents know exactly what I'm talking about. So trust us and try to give us all the support that you can offer. Let us call the shots in your home renovations. Let us visit different continents for stimulation. And let us bring back random pieces of trash that we found to be inspiring during a site visit. Support us as we become the next generation of architects, interior designers, fabricators, fashion designers, construction managers, engineers, and developers. Some of us will be moving on to graduate school. Others will be joining the workforce. Some of us will be moving back to our home state or country. Others will be moving to a completely new city. Regardless of where you end up in the coming weeks, months, and years, don't forget about your time here. Hold on to the moments that give you joy. Hold on to the moments that still bring tears of happiness to your eyes. Hold on to the moments when you were so close to giving up, but you pulled it together and got through it. And finally, hold on to the moments that remind you of us. Congratulations and good luck to everyone. Unlike our studio projects, we can actually say that we're finally done. Thank you.
Good job, Marcy. Very good job. Here's a gift for you. Thank you so much. Thanks so much. Thank you, Maharshi. I just need to clarify something for the parents. I swear on Martin Felsen. We did not endanger your children. Much. They're all here, right? We didn't lose anybody, did we? No? Everybody's got all their fingers? Yeah. It's a really good education, trust me. All right. Next, we are going to distribute the Bachelor of Architecture degrees. This is our largest group. And to present the diplomas for the Bachelor of Architecture degree, I call upon my friend and colleague, Eva Kulterman, Associate Professor and Associate Dean for University and Academic Affairs. Eva.
Thank you, Dean Kroloff. It is my distinct honor and pleasure, on the behalf of the faculty of the College of Architecture, to present you with the recipients for the Bachelor of Architecture degree. A couple of things before we get started I'd like to bring to your attention today. You might have noticed the honor cords that the candidates are wearing. Those have the following honors. A student who has a GPA of 3.85 or higher will graduate with summa cum laude honors. That is signified by a gold cord. A student who has a GPA between 3.70 and 3.849 will graduate with magna cum laude or honors, as signified by a silver cord. And finally, a student who has a GPA between 3.50 and 3.699 will graduate with cum laude honors, signified by a white cord. Will the recipients of the degree for the Bachelor of Architecture please stand row by row and come forward for your degrees? Youssef Ahmed Khaled Abdo. Alfredo Aguilera Rodriguez. Ana Gabriela Amaya. Mikael Bahina. Patrick Stephen Slansky, cum laude. Perla Barata graduated in 2020. Samuel K. Bautista, class of 2021, cum laude. Moksh Budia, magna cum laude. Harry Valentino Kamba. Zushin Gu, magna cum laude. Juliana Cardona Narvaez, magna cum laude. Maria Corina Carrizo Castello, class of 2021, summa cum laude. Anita L. Chan. Sanjana Mrutyunjaya Chavadi, also graduating with a Master of Science in Architecture. Adrian Chavez, class of 2021. Nancy Chavez. Yuan Chen. Morgan Elizabeth Colbert, summa cum laude. Kevian S. Davis. Semra Defterali. Vasiliki K. Demakis, magna cum laude. Riga Yogesh Desai, class of 2021, summa cum laude. Corey Tan Din. Naya Ganama, cum laude. Daniel Chester Garchek, cum laude. Marinella Todorova Georgieva, summa cum laude. Felipe de Jesus Gloria, class of 2020. Nathan Javier Gomez. Isabella Ulgin Caldas. Floriana Hodja. Olumayova Ajibola Ige, cum laude. Should be summa. Erin Marie James, summa cum laude. Youngwon Jung, cum laude. Tyler David Konofsky. Maxwell Tyler Keating. Jonathan Raymond Kyleman. Caitlin Christina Caneli, cum laude. Margaret Mary La Camera, cum laude. Natalie Lau, cum laude. Andrew Shuk Tak Lee, cum laude. Yui Liang, magna cum laude. Sofia Linares, cum laude. Xiaoqing Liu. Karen Lorena Marufo Zubaran. Amanda Virginia Marshall, summa cum laude. Corey Mannix McCluskey. Nicolas Rocco Messina, cum laude. Joel M. Meyer, summa cum laude. Yeah. Erin Francine Nelson is also earning a Master of Engineering in Structural Engineering. Jaden Cole Nettesheim. Senia Osturk, cum laude. Maharshi R. Patel, summa cum laude. Natalie Perez Gonzalez. Salim Popula. Manya Puri. Sama Rafati. Omar Rodriguez, cum laude. Jason Rodriguez Arias, magna cum laude. Julia M. Ruzek. Albino J. Salinas James. Miguel Antonio Santos, class of 2020. Caleb Schlemmel. Amna Hamin Shaikh, magna cum laude. Arkash Singh. Rishi Raj Singh. Aubrey Rose Smith, cum laude. May Ann Smith, summa cum laude. Amanda M. Soto. Botao Sun. Marcela Texara Pereira. Hiram Torres. Indra Urbaez, magna cum laude. Genesis Maria Valdovinos. Caitlin A. Weishar. Caitlin is also earning a Master of Engineering in Structural Engineering, summa cum laude. Keith William Wiley, cum laude. Joycelyn J. Wong, cum laude. Andrew Wooler. Hyung Du Yun, summa cum laude. And finally, Asiye Merve Yükselen, summa cum laude. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Eva. I think, Eva, you took my... All right. I want to thank Professors Sabatino, Mimica, Henderson, Felsen, and Coulterman for reading off all of those names, and we hope not mangling any of them too badly. So we really appreciate it, and congratulations to everybody. Will the College of Architecture graduates, classes of 2020, 2021, and 2022, please stand up? Now,
Some of them have both.
some of them have both.
Yeah, they're 2020 and 2022 people.
Oh, oh, wow. So, all right, so we've got both 2020 and 2022. People with 2 degrees in 2 different years, people coming back, people coming out. It's great. Congratulations to all of you. And a little while ago, as I said in the beginning, our president, Raj Etchambati, conferred all of the degrees. So this is just a formal ceremony of thanks and giving you your dockets there that you can carry with you. But in the tradition of commencement signifying the earning of the degree, we now have a moment called the turning of the tassel. And it's a kind of great tradition where I am now inviting all of you who should have your tassel on the other side. Your tassel should be on the right side right now. So it's not there. Quickly move it over and pretend it wasn't there. Excellent, you're perfect. And if you all now will just move it from the right to the left, you are now officially graduated from the College of Architecture and from IIT. And now please sit down. I invite all of you to look around a little bit while you're sitting down, and remember this moment as you move forward, but also remember the rights and responsibilities that come with these degrees. The primary one of which for all of you, whether you're architects, landscape architects, planners, urban designers, real estate professionals, fashion designers, wherever you end up, your responsibility is to make this world better than the way you found it. That's what designers are here for. And so you've got to go out and do that. And we know, you know, and we know that all of you, all of the people sitting here in black, have people standing behind you, people standing beside you, and I hope people standing right in front of you day to day who have helped you get to this place. The people upon whom you've relied to buck you up when you weren't feeling well, or to knock you down a little bit when you were feeling just a bit too well. Those people are so critical, and I know we have a lot of them here today. I'm looking at this sweaty bunch over here, and I'm looking at this sweaty bunch over here, and I'm looking at this lucky bunch in the back away from the windows. And I'd like to ask all of the families and the friends of our graduates today to please stand up and let us thank you for everything you've done for them. And now I'd like to thank another group, which is our faculty and our staff, both of whom are here. If I could ask all of our faculty to stand, and any staff members who are here with us to either come around the corner or down in front with us. Ladies and gentlemen, the students and their friends and family, these are the people who have worked so closely with your children, your spouses, your partners, your friends. These are the ones who've helped guide them across 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, double degrees, double years, all kinds of combinations you can't even begin to imagine. These are people who turned on a dime with your sons and friends and daughters and neighbors and began to educate electronically in the middle of the sequence. None of them prepared for that. None of them studied any of that, just as our students didn't either. And we did it together. And we would never have been able to do it without this group of people. They are extraordinary. They work incredibly hard. And I can tell you they are passionate about our students. They are passionate about these graduates. Whether they've been with us for 1 year or 30 years, they are all equally committed to the success of this set of graduates, those who will come after and those who came before. So please help me one last time to say thank you to our staff, to our faculty, to the administration, and to all of us here who really love your students. Please say thank you. Even Frank. All right, let's have this group sit down. We're now at the end of our ceremony, and I want to thank each of you for attending and extend our collective congratulations to our graduates. It's been a great honor and a privilege for us to teach you and prepare you for your adventures ahead. And a little bit more business. I'm going to ask our graduates I'm going to ask our graduates and everybody here to remain seated while we process out, and then to just leap from your chairs and enjoy a little celebration of the graduates and the faculty here in Crown Hall for the rest of the afternoon. Thank you very, very much for coming. And now the recession.